phenomenon in G108, we're going to use different graphs. Could be a line graph, could be a bar graph. We're going to use line graphs whenever we're trying to find a moment in time, a magnitude at a point in time. So temperature at a certain time, temperature, whether it be temperature in January, temperature at 2 in the morning, it's a specific moment in time. And so we're going to refer to this as continuous data. What that means is temperature doesn't just go from 48 degrees suddenly up to 52 degrees. It goes from 48 to 49 to 50 to 51 to 52. It's continuous. And so when we look at temperature especially, we're going to use line graphs. Whereas if it's stuff that can be actually quantified, stuff that can be put into a container, for example, rain, snow, can be put into a container, then we're going to use a bar graph. So bar graphs we're going to use to measure a particular period of time. So for a day, how much rain did we get on a certain day? Well, we would use the bar graph to showcase that. How much rain did we get for a certain month? Well, we would use the bar graph to showcase that. And so line graph versus bar graph is something we're going to have to make sure to separate and distinguish going forward. Parts 1 and 2 are going to ask you to create a climograph and then answer questions based on those climographs. And so what we have here is we have Indianapolis. So just using an example of Indianapolis. And so just to familiarize ourselves with the climograph, at the bottom we have the different months of the year. And one of the things you'll notice, you see D on there twice. And so December's on the left side, but it's also on the right side. So that's something to first off to get stuck in the head. Second, if we go over on the right-hand side, that's temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. So we have all the way up to 100 at the top right-hand corner and then all the way down to -40. And so what you're going to do is you're going to then plot temperatures for different months. And so in this example of Indianapolis, I've already done that. First off, what we note is if you look at where those dots are placed. For example, the dot for January is going to be right in the middle of that box. It's not going to be on a line. So the plot for January, which is just under, somewhere right around 28 degrees probably. So 28 degrees, you'll place a dot inside in the middle because it's an average temperature for the month. In the middle of that so-called area or region that's supposed to be for January. So then you see the January placed, and then we go to February, March, April, blah, 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 blah. And so what you'll do is you'll then place all the points on this graph, and then you'll connect them using a smooth line. So you'll connect the dots and try to create kind of a curved line that connects all the points. Further, one of the things you have to note is what to do with December. So December is actually, there's two dots that show December, but both of those dots are going to be on the solid black line on either the left-hand side of the graph or on the right-hand side of the graph. And so you'll see for December, which is 30 degrees, is the average temperature in December in Indianapolis. You'll see it on the left-hand side on that solid dark black line, but also on the right-hand side. Essentially what it is, December is cut in half. It's on both sides of the climograph. And so your climographs, now, they might not look exactly like this, but they should look like this in terms of the general makeup, with the dots in the middle of the particular month that the data is for, but also with December being shown both on the left-hand side and the right-hand side.